The air feels different here. It's quiet, the kind of quiet that makes you hear your own heartbeat. The wind carries a faint smell of dust and old wood, the scent of things that have been left untouched for too long. I take one slow step forward, my shoes pressing into the same ground I once ran across as a child. The same earth that held laughter, tears, and secrets I thought I'd forgotten. There's a strange ache in my chest, something between warmth and pain, the feeling of recognizing a place that remembers you, even when you tried to forget it. The gate creaks as I push it open. The sound hits me harder than I expected. It's like the place is sighing, welcoming me back, asking why it took me so long to return. I don't have an answer. Maybe I was afraid to face what I left behind, or what time has changed. The sunlight falls through the trees the same way it used to, drawing golden lines across the path. For a moment I can almost see the shadows of who we were, running, shouting, alive. But they fade just as quickly as they appear. There's a lot of memories here for me. Some still glowing, others buried deep. But they all wait. Quietly, patiently. Like they knew I would come back one day. Ethan, I'm sorry. At the gazebo I clammed up because, did I do something wrong? No, it's this place. There's a lot of memories here for me. And, well, the truth is that gazebo, that's where Ty and I decided to get married. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. How could you have known that? I wanted you to come, I did. I just didn't know what kind of emotions this place would stir up. And now that we're here, everywhere I look, I see his ghost. I understand you. Why don't you go back to the cabin? Use the walk to clear your head. Yeah. Okay. I walk down the narrow path leading toward the old house. Each step feels heavier than the last, like I'm dragging every year I've been gone behind me. The wooden fence is still there, though it's broken in a few places now. I remember when we painted it white one summer, how the brush slipped from my hand, leaving streaks on your shirt. You laughed and I got mad, pretending it wasn't funny. But it was. We spent the whole day trying to fix our messy work, but the paint dried uneven, just like the way memories stay, imperfect, but full of color. The yard looks smaller than I remember. Isn't that strange? How places shrink when you grow up. The swing under the old tree still hangs there, one rope frayed, one seat missing. I can almost hear it creak as the wind moves through it, the same sound that once filled the evenings when everything felt endless. I stop and stare at it for a while. My fingers itch to touch it, but I don't. Some things, I've learned, are better left untouched. The door is locked, of course. It always was. I pull the small rusty key from my pocket, the same one I kept all these years, tucked inside a drawer I never opened. It slides into the lock like it never forgot its place. The door groans when I push it open, and a faint cloud of dust dances in the light that spills through the window. Inside, everything smells like old paper, faded dreams, and silence. I pause at the doorway, letting the air wrap around me like an old, forgotten blanket. My eyes travel across the room. The cracked photograph frames, the leaning bookshelf, the chair that still faces the window. Everything looks the same, and nothing does. It's like time moved through here softly, just enough to change the shape of things but not enough to erase them. I walk to the corner where we used to sit with cups of tea, whispering about futures we didn't understand yet. The table still has that scratch we made one night, when we argued about something silly, then laughed so hard we couldn't breathe. I run my fingers across it, feeling the roughness beneath the dust. For a second I'm back there. Your voice, your laughter, your warmth. Then it's gone, like a wave retreating back into the ocean. I walk through the hall, tracing the walls with my hand. The paint is peeled, the floorboards creak, and sunlight leaks through tiny cracks in the curtains. Yet in all of it I see pieces of life, moments frozen in time. The mirror at the end of the hallway catches my reflection, and for a moment I don't recognize myself. I see someone older, quieter, carrying the weight of years that never stopped moving. And I realize it's not just the place that's changed. I have too. Every corner holds something. The faint outline of where a photo once hung. The spot on the floor where the dog used to sleep. The faint marks of height measurements we scratched on the wall, counting the inches of our growing years. I stand there for a long time, staring at the highest mark. It's yours. A little taller than mine. You were always proud of that. You said you'd always be one step ahead of me. And somehow you still are. Outside, the wind picks up. The branches sway, their shadows stretching across the floor like reaching hands. I close my eyes and listen. The rustling leaves, the far-off hum of the world moving on. This house is silent, but it's not empty. It breathes. It remembers. Every sound feels familiar, every creak a whisper from the past. I sit down on the old wooden chair, the same one you carved your initials into. The grooves are still there, faint but alive. I trace them gently as if touching them could bring you back. But all it brings is a soft ache. The kind that doesn't hurt anymore, but still makes you feel something deep inside. I think about how much time has passed. How the seasons came and went while I stayed away, convincing myself that moving on meant forgetting. But sitting here, I understand it now. Forgetting isn't healing. It's just another kind of running away. The real healing comes from facing the memories, even the painful ones. Especially those. A faint light flickers through the window, and dust dances in its glow. I smile softly. Somehow, in the stillness, there's peace. The kind of peace that doesn't come from forgetting, but from remembering, without breaking apart. I whisper into the quiet air, as if you could still hear me. There's a lot of memories here for me. The words echo, softly bouncing off the walls, not heavy, not sad, just honest. And for the first time in years, the place doesn't feel haunted. It feels alive again. The sound of the floorboards under my feet brings back an echo, a soft rhythm that once matched our footsteps as we ran through this hallway. It's strange how a sound can take you back faster than time ever could. I can still see it so clearly, the way light used to spill through the windows in the morning, painting golden lines on the walls. You'd always run ahead of me, laughing, daring me to catch up. Your voice still lingers in this air, faint and far, like a song the wind refuses to let die. I walk toward the kitchen and my chest tightens. The tiles are cracked now, but the smell, it's still the same. Faint traces of cinnamon and tea. I can almost hear the clinking of cups, the laughter that filled this space, the quiet hum of life that once lived here. I see flashes, your hands stirring sugar, the way sunlight caught your hair, the small crumbs on the counter we never cleaned up. Simple, ordinary things. But that's the thing about memories. They never leave in grand gestures. They linger in the small details. The way you smiled, the warmth of a Sunday morning, the echo of a shared silence. There's a cup still sitting on the shelf. A small chip along its rim, the same one you said gave it character. I run my thumb across it, and for a second, it feels like time hasn't moved. I close my eyes, and suddenly I'm back there. Both of us sitting by the window, steam rising between us, the world outside too big to understand. You were telling me about your dreams, about all the things you wanted to do. I remember nodding, pretending to listen, but really I was just watching you talk. I never told you that. I never told you how your voice made everything else fade away. The walls here carry more than paint. They carry laughter, arguments, apologies. I can almost hear them now, layered over each other like invisible fingerprints of time. The sound of rain hitting the roof, the way we raced to close the windows. The night we stayed up talking until the sun came up. The quiet morning after the last goodbye. Everything is still here, woven into the air, stitched into the silence. As I move deeper into the room, I notice the old clock still hanging on the wall. It stopped, hands frozen at 3:17. I wonder when it stopped. Maybe the day everything else did. I remember how you hated when it ticked too loud, how you said it made time feel impatient. Now it's silent, just like everything else. But in that silence, I can still hear the heartbeat of the past, soft but steady. I pick up an old photo frame lying face down on the table. The glass is cracked, dust covering the corners. I wipe it gently, and there we are, smiling, young, full of plans. The sunlight in the photo looks brighter than the light today. I stare at it for a long time, my reflection blending with the faces in the picture. It's like time folding in on itself, past and present colliding for a breath, reminding me that we were real, that those days existed. I remember how we used to write messages on the foggy windows in winter. Silly things, secret things, sometimes promises, the kind that only made sense to us. I wonder if the glass remembers too. Maybe if I breathe on it now, the old words would appear again. Forever. That's what you wrote once. I laughed and said nothing lasts forever. You just smiled and said, some things do, if you remember them right. I didn't understand it then, but I do now.